So, the Samsung Galaxy A05, one of Samsung's entry-level devices, technically a slightly better upgrade from its predecessor, the A04. The Samsung Galaxy A series typically offers a balance between features and affordability, providing users with a good value for their money. One of the standout features for me will be the upgrade on the processor coming from its predecessor. So, based on that alone, the A05 looks like an interesting device, but does it really offer enough in terms of user experience, especially when compared to the previous device? Let's find out. In Nigeria, the Samsung Galaxy A05 currently has a starting price of 100,000 Naira for the best version, which has 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. You also get storage option of 128GB, which costs about 139,000 Naira, but with the same 4GB of RAM. What I have here has 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Now, starting off with the unboxing experience, it is not new that Samsung does not include accessories anymore with its devices, and the A05 right here is not an exception. The only thing that comes within the box is the device itself, a USB Type-C charging cable, and a user guide. You have to go out there and get yourself a charger. Speaking of chargers, the Samsung Galaxy A05 actually supports up to 25-watt fast charging. So you might want to get a charger that pushes up to 25 watts, but I'll recommend you straight up get a certified charger directly from Samsung. With the A05, Samsung still continues with its minimal approach when it comes to design, and this black color that I have here actually looks beautiful. On the design aspect, I would say it passes as one of the finest looking budget phones. Simple yet easily recognizable. Samsung actually continues to establish their brand identity on all their devices, so whether you pick up a flagship or a low-end A series, you're getting a design that anyone can easily recognize. The A05 is good looking and I love how it feels in the hand with its rounded corners, but I must add that it is not a device that you can easily operate with one hand. At 6.7 inches, you already know that it is a big device, and those that like a big display on a smartphone will definitely appreciate it. The device is made from a polycarbonate plastic, which is what you get from a device in its price bracket. It has a glossy finish on the rear that attracts lots of smudges and fingerprints. Another downside to the material used here is that it easily gets scratches on the back, so I recommend you put on a case. On the right side of the device, we've got the power button and the volume rocker keys. As you can clearly see here, it has a regular power button. It doesn't have a fingerprint reader. At this price point, I don't know how you feel about that, but I just want you to know that I am not fully impressed. Omitting the fingerprint is something I can't deal with, especially when other devices in its price category all come with it. But thankfully, there is face unlock and it works really well. At the bottom of the device, we have a headphone jack, a microphone, a USB Type-C charging port, and a speaker grill. There is also a SIM tray that can take dual nano SIM and a micro SD card on the left side of the device. On top of the device, we have another microphone that gives it a balanced microphone quality for phone calls and general audio recording. Speaking of audio, my biggest gripe with the A05 is the quality of the speaker. Since it comes with just one speaker, it sounds very tinny and lacks any form of bass. If you're in a noisy environment, you might want to reach out for your headphones. Now, turning to the rear of the A05, we have a dual camera setup that comprises a 50 megapixels main sensor and a 2 megapixels depth sensor. To the front of the device, we have a 6.7 inches PLS LCD display with a U-shaped notch. One could say that a U-shaped notch looks slightly more appealing than a teardrop notch used on its predecessor. On the notch houses an 8 megapixel selfie camera. As far as the display is concerned, it is similar to what we had on its predecessor. It has a 6.7 inches 720p HD Plus display with 262 pixels per inch density. The display is quite decent. Forget the specs on paper, it doesn't look too subpar. It looks really okay and it is acceptable. It is sharp and bright. Consuming media content is very enjoyable on this display. Watching TikTok videos and general media consumption is very okay. However, outdoor visibility suffers a little bit, especially if you use it on a bright sunny day, and it still does not have a high refresh rate. You're only capped at 60 Hz. For performance, this is another area that seems like a huge jump from its predecessor. At least it is. The A05 comes with a MediaTek Helio G85 octa-core CPU and it is paired with 4GB of RAM. To be honest, this processor had seen its days, meaning it is quite old, but for a device in its price point, it is still very capable. When it comes to real world performance, it is fast and responsive, doing quite well when playing games, launching apps and multitasking in general. But that's not all the story. Due to the limited amount of RAM, having too many background apps will make this device stutter. Like you experience some form of sluggishness sometimes. Another area where the device lacks a little bit is within the camera app. In most scenarios, the shutter button does take some time to capture images, resulting in a shaky or off-focus images. The A05 comes with Android 13 and One UI 5.1. I personally thought Samsung was going to ship the A series this year with Android 14, but that's not the case here. And I can't really complain because there are actually no budget Android phones out there running Android 14 as at the time of making this video. However, there's a good chance this will actually get Android 14 much sooner. Maybe Samsung is waiting for the release of its flagship device first before rolling out Android 14 to its budget offering. Now, since this is running a core version of One UI, you're not going to get features like H panel, Smart View, and the worst of it all, screen recording. A simple thing like screen recording requires you to rely on a third-party application. Samsung One UI offers one of the best software experience on any Android smartphone today, and there's a huge chance that the A05 will get a 4 years of software and security update, which is amazing. The 50 megapixels main camera is decent and its images come with some high level of detail, especially when taken in a well-lit environment or a bright sunny day. I like how it handles dynamic range and colors. Portrait images looks good and it is exactly what you expect from an entry-level device. This could possibly be one of the best cameras within its price bracket. The 8 megapixel selfie camera took decent images and the quality is very acceptable. Hold on. At first, it wasn't that impressive until I received the software update. So if you notice that your camera isn't that good and has some weird colors on your images, you might want to go to settings and check for a software update. At least it did manage to fix the color issue slightly. I generally like the colors and saturation level and the overall details coming out of it. It just makes the image pop and I love that about it. For videos, the Samsung Galaxy A05 can shoot a decent 1080p footage. Just take a look at it and tell me what you think in the comment section below. Now let's talk about batteries. Battery life is where the A05 exceeds all expectations. Because of its lower display resolution, the device can go for days without you needing to recharge it if you're an average user. I don't know the magic Samsung has done here, but I'll say that this has exceeded all my expectations when it comes to battery life. It is very impressive. However, as I said initially in the video, it doesn't come with the charger within the box, so you might have to spend a little extra to get a charger, preferably a 25-watt charger if you want to charge at full speed. In conclusion, the Samsung Galaxy A05 appears to be a worthy upgrade to its predecessor, thanks to the upgrade in performance. Samsung devices just feels different from any other Android phone out there, and don't forget, you're going to get 4 years of software updates on the A05, and that is something I can't say about any device in its price category. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, kindly give me a like and subscribe to the channel. And I guess I'll talk to you in the very next one.